Greetings and welcome to a Center for Enlightenment Production. I'm Matt Wyman, also known as Bartholomew, and today we'll be looking at ancient history and religion with a aim to see what the ancients did that we could also do to improve the world we live in. As you can see here, there is a picture of an ancient rock mushroom man, also known as the bee man. He was first identified by Terence McKenna, and the mushrooms all along his body indicate the bee mushroom state. As you can see, the handprint, the human handprint, saying, this is a human, a bee shaman, in Algeria, Africa. Most of you have seen this picture if you know about Terence McKenna. This picture is also up in Paul Stamets's studio on the wall on the left. And it's 6,000 years old and goes back to the use of psilocybin mushrooms. This next picture, which you can see here, shows the bee shaman again in South Africa. This picture has rarely been seen, and not nearly as many people know that the bee shaman of Algeria were all throughout Africa. You can see the horns, or the buffalo horns, and the bee in the face, and the mushrooms popping up on the legs and shoulders. Now back to Algeria, which is West Africa, we can see in this picture that the bee mushroom people, mushroom-headed people carrying mushrooms in their hands, are all running towards a place where the stars come down here, and it forms a triangle or a pyramid. It's believed that the first line of Seth began to call upon the name of the Lord, which is the psilocybin mushroom, and that the line of Seth then gathered together and built the pyramid as a testament to the way the world was going, that it should be, if it was wiped out by a flood, the pyramid would stand to tell people about that. And interestingly enough, a boat was buried by the Egyptians right at the corner of the pyramid. So the boat of Noah is indicated. Now, as to how they built the pyramids, it's believed that since we don't know how they built them, one hypothesis, one that I've come to, is that in those days, according to scripture, there were giants in the earth. And so with the help of the giants, who they would bemuse by giving them piles of these magic mushrooms, they got them on board to help build these pyramids. This pyramid, particularly the Great Pyramid, used to be covered with 144,000 white slabs. Those of you who know the significance of 144,000 know that there are supposed to be 144,000 elect, or people who are called out by God to witness to Him. So in the future, when a population or a nation does not bend the knee to God, they'll just get no rain, kind of like California had no rain. I happened to be out in California, and we did a rain ceremony, and they got a tremendous amount of rain just shortly after that. So people who can call on the name of the Lord and implore Him to give rain, those nations will have rain. You can still see the remnants, the 144,000 white stones that covered this pyramid are all gone now. They were marble. But you can still see the outer casing layer at the top of the pyramid, which is missing its top stone, its capstone, representing Christ. It's believed to have been made out of solid gold at one time. Africa still remembers, as you can see here in this picture, still remembers the psilocybin mushroom as it's related to a palm tree. This mushroom that's overshadowing the chair of power, or the seat of power and enthronement, was used for ancestor worship. And that's still pretty popular to worship and advocate for the ancestors. But it's not a Christian theme. It's not something that you really want to do. Over in India, we see this picture here of the psilocybin mushrooms being promoted on a large scale, much larger than the humans. And we see the ring and the pointed caps of what could most likely be psilocybin cubensis, the most common of the psilocybin mushrooms. The one that if you're going to buy mushrooms, you're most likely going to buy. Here we have two warriors saluting each other. Both of them have mushroom heads. This is also ancient India, probably about some of which date back to 40,000 years ago, which puts the bee shaman at 6,000, it's much earlier than the flood. So these same individuals in India, here one is being chased by a boar. But as soon as humanity learns how to make a bow and arrow, then you see the boar heading the other way. And again, you see the mushroom head. This is a mushroom stone of ancient India, and it's cut into the shape of a phallus at the bottom, with the cap being the feminine side of it. It's just rooted in our origins and our history that this was so. That these mushrooms begat humanity. All of life was created through these mushrooms, which came as spores and landed in the oceans and spread out, and all of life came from that one fountain. Here we see more modern India, probably about 600 AD, where we have a bluing Brahmin with this headpiece showing a brilliant mushroom, and he's handing over a mushroom to his wife, who is looking at the enlightenment that her husband has. So enlightened couples. And here we see Jesus in the same type of palm tree, which has got mushroom-like qualities, the tree of life. And we see Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, where Matthew's in the top left, as his spirit is lifting up the gospel symbol of the angel. Luke is the eagle, and John the cow or the bull, and Mark is the lion. I think I've got that right. Where Jesus' spirit is lifting up Jesus Christ, who above him has the Father, and the whole shape is the shape of a primordia, or a mushroom in its earliest stage. So what Jesus said was he would draw all men to himself, and I think we can see that he's done that. If you just add the mushroom to your diet, then you've got an empowering way to commune with God, and the Bible is not so irrelevant suddenly. All right, well, that's it from the Center for Enlightenment. I hope your Halloween is going well. Take care.